Hello, welcome to the Battle in Barrow and another Build in Middle-earth video where we build Middle-earth one video at a time. We are back in Fornost today, working on the Fornost build, and I thought before we get going, I thought we'd have a look at where we left off last video. Just set up, just didn't get a chance to do that in the last video. So this is what it looks like all set up, and I have to admit, it looks pretty good as it is, but we are missing some ruins and buildings and towers and things like that. So that is what we're going to be doing today, and taking a bit of inspiration from Zorpazorp, who will repurpose old builds for his big Minas Tirith field. I'm going to do the same. A few years back on the channel we made some Osgiliath ruins, and they are now packed away in my attic. My bedroom's in the attic, so I have a little small storage space off to one side, and that's where they reside. I haven't touched them since I built them, since I made that video. So, and if I ever want to go down to Osgiliath, Games Workshop makes some cool plastic kits, so I'd use those instead. So we can repurpose those. In amongst that, there are some old Gondor ruins, I think they're called. So we've got those in there, so we can repurpose those, get those out, have a look at them, paint them up and what have you. So that is what we're going to be doing in this video today. So let's take a look at what we got. Seen the video, you probably know it. It's a mixture of pre-made ruins, which not bad, quite like it, and this walkway I remember being really cool. So yeah, we can definitely use that. Okay, that's good. And we also have some actual Games Workshop ruins. Painted in the Osgiliath sort of manner, so I'm going to repaint them to match. We've got this thing here. Ooh, yeah, repaint those, add a bit more colour with some dirt into them. So yeah, a lot of this is going to be repainted. Yeah, so I forgot about this big bad boy here. We got another full-blown plinth. As I remember, this is just a wall. Not much detail on it. I can see that. Maybe we can add some arches on there. I have to see. But also, there's these ruins. We have these are made for Osgiliath. So these towers. We have this house, see if I can do anything with this. Now, one thing I instantly noticed is I like these. This house is a bit plain. At least on these ruins I added just some cards just to give it a bit of 3D pop. So I might add some of that around here. I don't know yet. So I'm going to put this one to one side. That's the mystery. I think one of the things I am going to definitely do with these is paint them, obviously. I'm going to chop them here, add a floor level in so you can get inside, and if I magnetize them we can sort of swap out, say, this top section for a green top section to match. So that is the plan for this video, just to repurpose these and get them looking as best they can. At that moment, let's get just one of our, yeah, they are a different looking colour. That one's a bit higher, but you can be a step up. So that gives options as well. Yeah, I'm sure this had a, yeah, there it goes. As I'm saying it. What this had, so I think this is going to be something like this. So it had stairs going. You can imagine the platform here. Make a few more of these just to tie it all up. Give it a walkway underneath. Pass around to here. Yeah, it's great. Look at that already. That looks like a nifty Osgiliath board. Fornost board. Like in the Mordheim style, I had some rubble in, say, here, and maybe the pillars collapsed here. Yeah, we got exciting game going on here. So I won't bore you with the details, let's paint these up. On one of the ruined sections I had an upper floor, but I decided that some of the others are high enough to add an upper floor on, and that'll add to playability. So I'm just adding that into some of those. This is just made from some foam, textured up to look like floorboards, and painted up to look like floorboards too. Make sure the edges look suitably ruined and destroyed. Next up, it is adding some foliage. For the most part, this is done exactly like the previous video. So on the stairs and sort of upper floors, I've added in this dirt and leaf mixture. Added in some of the static grass mat cut up into pieces, pretty much like we did in the previous video. The difference is here is on the broken wall sections, I wanted to add some sort of moss growing on it where it's grown in the cracks where it's been rained on. For this, I tend to use spring green static grass. This is, I don't know if they still even do this anymore, but Games Workshop used to sell this, but this you can also, if you want something the same as what Games Workshop used to sell, or still do, but at a cheaper price, go for Jarvis spring green static grass. You'll get a ton of it, half the price, and all I'm doing is just using PVA glue and just adding it into places where it is the rock's broken and crumbled. Don't use a static grass applicator for this because it's not meant to be standing up grass, it's meant to be moss, and I just feel this looks, you know, from the tabletop eye height, looks like moss. That's what we're going to be doing here, and do this to all the ruins. So what can we do with these ruins? Well, obviously paint them. I was thinking about putting something around here, but I'm not going to bother. What I am going to do though is make sure we can get inside, and two, let's replace these bits. Make it so we can replace these bits with ruined towers. So my plan is to use a sculpting tool to, as a pointer, cut along here, so it's in 3 sections. Put a floor base on here, and floor base on here. Magnets in, and then magnets on the bottom of these, so we can put it all back together, and then make a new section that's perhaps, just for now, I'm going to start with the top one that's all just ruined, so like that, maybe the back 2 pillars up high. So that's the plan for these. So first of all, let's take these apart, let's chop them apart. So the first thing I'm going to do is take one of the towers over to the hot wire cutter and cut it into 3 pieces at the desired height. Then I'm going to use some foam to add a floor to each piece. Now this is an old project that I've salvaged, so it already has a grid on one side, so I'm just using that. So I'm just going to put it in the middle of a square and sort of trace round the top part of the bottom piece here, and then I'm just going to cut that out, and I'm going to do this for both towers, so there'll be 2 pieces in the end. And then I'll repeat a similar process for the upper floor as well, just using an old piece of foam. If you use a new bit of foam, obviously you have to texture it and add the pattern in, but I'm just using an old project here. So yeah, turn the upper floor over, trace around it, cut it out. The whole point of doing this is so I can have a ruined section. So for this, I'm going to sort of recreate, I'm going to do 2 ruined sections, one on the first floor and another one for the second floor. So I'm just going to make this again out of scrap bits of foam because it is going to be ruined. So I'm just going to make up a ruined piece. What I want really is sort of 4 corners, one corner to have like a full, almost tall pillar, and then the opposite, diagonally opposite corner to be quite low, and the others be varying heights, just to add playability. So it's like a place where someone can shoot from if they wish. So, and it's just a case of making this sort of in a similar way as the tower itself, but make it ruined. It's all just then hot glued together. Next up, it's time to add magnets in. So for this, while the hot glue is still warm, I'm just going to melt a hole in each corner of a piece that I want to attach magnets to. Once I've done that, I can add some glue into these holes and drop a magnet in. Hold it in place for a few seconds to let the glue dry, and then I can remove some of the magnets. I'm going to leave them tall like this just while it's drying, and repeat this for each 4 of the corners. Okay, when we've got that done, I'm going to add in to a magnet on top of the one that's already in place, which will be for the opposite part of the tower, and then just apply it to where I want it to be on the opposite end of the tower and just push down. The magnets will push into the foam, leaving me indentations of where they need to go. I can then repeat this process by melting a hole with the hot glue gun, and then adding the glue, and then pushing the 2 pieces back together once the glue's in there, and the magnets will fit into those holes and hold it in place and glue it into place. You don't want too much glue splodging out because you don't want to glue the pieces together. But yeah, do that, and yeah, they'll be glued into place. You can repeat this similar process onto the other pieces. So now I've got the magnets into that top section. I can put magnets underneath those, move on to the second tower and push down onto that, leaving me the indentations, and then I can sort of repeat the process what I've just done on the second bottom tower, if that makes sense. Once you've done that, of course, you can then just do the similar thing for the next floor, and then Bob's your uncle, you can have towers that you can have as whole towers or ruined towers, and these of course will get painted up and flocked with the moss on the crumbled ruin bits in a similar way to all the other pieces we have made. And with that, we can begin to put our ruins down on our board. So let's start off with the towers we've just made, and we can put, say, one there, stick one there. We can put the other one, say, here. And the nice thing is, we can still utilize the old parts we're not using really. We could put that there, and maybe, I don't know, as a tower there, and yeah, that's looking good. What I'm going to do now is get the ruin set up, and we can have a look at it when I'm all set up and do a little outro. So okay, this is what it all looks like all set up. Probably have more room if I didn't have a massive cat in the opposite corner to me, but already this board is quite full. And quite dense with terrain, which is living up to the dream. There is something I didn't get to use from the old set, and that was this platform, actually, ironically. So I might do that in the next video and try and make room. Perhaps it can add onto this front one here and make it even higher, so I have another height level. I found some old ladders that we can use, put in places to get up to height and use as other platforms. I'm going to need to make more platforms, I think. More stairs. Not a lot of room for more buildings. I might make a few more buildings, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think this needs more buildings. Obviously the whole point of this is to make this as terrain dense as possible. Yeah, looking at it, I'm super excited seeing how this is coming on. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you would add to this. I've got to think about the floor now. I'm putting it on this grass mat at the moment, but I want to put it on maybe tiles to have some rubble street tiles. But it's the roadways. I'm not too sure about that, so I'm going to have to think about that. If you've got any ideas, let me know. Also, while you are leaving comments down below, if you see a model of a fox in the when I'm showing off the terrain in any videos, or not just this one, in future videos, leave your comment and add fox into it. So you gotta look out for the fox. Okay, but I think that'll be it for this video. I'm really pleased with how this is coming on. Hope you're enjoying this. Until the next video, guys, stay safe, take care, bye 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 bye.